Say hi. Hi ZB clan, how you like that name? If you don't like the name or you have a better name, you can just suggest it in the comments below because I really want to get a name for you guys. ZB crew, ZB clan. The last suggestion by Carl was ZB clan, so I'm going with it until I get something else. Yeah, so hello ZB clan, welcome back to another episode of ZB Monologue. Today, good job baby turtle. Today we'll be talking about mom guilt. So let me first apologize to all my listeners who are watchers. Let me first apologize to all my viewers who are not moms, but please continue to watch because sometimes we need perspective. I'm sure that you know a mom, or you maybe you need some insight into just motherhood and how emotional roller coaster it is. So just continue. Alright, I forgot to record all of this over again, yes? So as I was saying, let me first apologize to all my viewers who are not moms, but I think you should continue to watch this video because you will realize a little bit more, you will get a little bit more perspective into this whole motherhood thing and how much of an emotional roller coaster it is. And also you may be able to help another mom who you know, I'm sure that you know some moms, you'll be able to help another mom to actually get a new perspective, a fresher perspective into this mom guilt thing. All right, so stay tuned, and if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button. Let's go. Okay, so firstly, I just want to start out with instances where I have felt guilty being a mom, right? And the first instance is just asking for help. So like you feel like you're overwhelmed, right? But at the same time, when you ask for help, you immediately feel contrition, like you shouldn't have asked for help, like it's your job, you know, you are the one who is a mom and you should be able to do this, you know. I know in hindsight it really doesn't make sense because we all need help, but as mothers you just can't help but feel guilty for asking for help, you know. You can watch Zoya for me, you understand. It's like you feel like I should be able to do it, I shouldn't have asked for help, right? Another instance is just eating food, because Zoya is such a foodie now. She is like really appreciative of food. So sometimes I find myself kind of like hiding and eating because if not she's gonna beg me, right? Yes? No, you can't get back in it right now. I'm talking, so after I finish talking, you can't get back in it. Yes. So I find myself like hiding and eating the food from Zoya, right? And then yeah, I feel guilty about that, but that is not where the mom guilt comes in. The mom guilt comes in when like I buy groceries and I may have a raspberry and I want to eat the raspberry, you know, but I'm like, no, I should leave it for Zoya. Or I buy a yogurt and I want to eat the yogurt and I'm like, no, Zoya needs it more. Or like I have the chicken leg and I have the chicken and I'm like, boy, I'm hungry, you know, but I'm like, no, I need to leave it for Zoya. So it's like, you know, you reach to a point where you're putting your child before you, and that's good, but at the same time that's not necessarily all that good because you need the nutrients too. But you know, you're thinking, no, I may not. And like, even if you're giving to it and you eat the yogurt, you feel guilty afterwards, like the yogurt just don't settle well in your belly, right? And I just feel like it's just so interesting that, you know, you feel guilty because of that. Another instance is where, you know, sometimes I'm so tired that I want a break from Zoya, and I feel like I shouldn't want a break from Zoya, you know, like I feel like I shouldn't want a break from her, but I'm tired and I just want a break, right? And then the other thing is when you do get a break, when somebody has her, you're like, I wonder if she missed me. You know, I should probably be with her. So you feel guilty about that too, right? And then the next thing is that because you're tired and you're overrun and you're overcompensating, you're doing everything, you're burnt out emotionally and physically, you get annoyed and you snap at everything. You snap at your partner, you snap at your baby, you get annoyed at your partner, you get annoyed at your baby, right? And then when you get annoyed at them, you feel like you shouldn't have been annoyed. You feel like you shouldn't have been, you know, snappy, you know? But it's like you reach that point where you're like, yes, what, right? Because you're so, you're dealing with so many things at once. But you feel like you shouldn't have been annoyed. And you know those instances where you tell the baby, like I tell Zaya, do not go on the chair, do not go on the chair, and she does it and she drop, right? Instantly you're like, I'll good for you. But then another instantly you feel bad because you should have, you know, run to her and comfort her instead of like, you know, feeling like, yeah, you deserve this, I good. You understand? But it's like, it's human. And then the next thing is that, separate and apart from that, like if she hurts herself, if she falls, right? You feel so bad because, or if she hurts herself, if she gets sick, if she gets a fever, things that you can't control, none at all, right? You feel that you should have probably put a hat on her when you were going out. You feel like, even though that is not the cause for the fever, you know, you feel like you should have been holding her hand so that she didn't fall. You feel like you should have been there, you should have been present, you should have been more vigilant. And then it just comes down on you, that guilt, that mom guilt just comes down on you. And especially if there is like a scar afterwards, every time you see the scar, it kind of hurts your heart a little bit because you're saying it's my fault, I should have been there, you know. And then social media. Social media is such an interesting thing because it's a virtual community, and it really helps you to realize that on one hand, you're not as bad a mom as you thought you were, but on the other hand, come right here, come. But on the other hand, you see, I see moms doing craft activities with kids. I see moms painting, and I mean, honestly, most days, okay, let me help you. Most days, I let Zaya trash the house, and I don't get her, like I do some sensory activities with her, but I don't necessarily have her painting, doing the art and craft all the time, right? And that's where the mom guilt sets in, like I should do that. Like I should do that for Zaya. You know, I should be doing that for Zaya. I should be doing that for her. So it's like you feel the guilt crushing, and you just want to come off of social media, or you want to do something about it and get her into arts and crafts, right? So that's one of the other things. Next thing is just leaving the house. Like you know that you have things to do. You know that you have grocery shopping to do, you know that you have just shopping to do, clothes shopping, you know that you have to run to the bank or whatever. But at the same time, you feel like at the same time you have to leave her at home, and then when you're on the road, you're wondering, she alright, she drop, she eat, she okay, she tired, them know if I put her to bed. So it's like you're wondering about so many things, and you feel guilty for doing the very thing that you need to do, be a mother. You understand? You feel guilty for leaving her. You feel like, yo, I should have carried her, but you know that you won't be able to accomplish much if you carried her anyway, right? Be careful with that stick. My monopod, right? And then the last thing that it just don't make no sense, but it makes so much sense, going back to work. So now after maternity leave finishes and you go back to work, you feel guilty for going back to work. And if you don't go back to work, you feel guilty for not going back to work. So it's like you can't win none at all, right? And you feel like, I shouldn't go back to work because I'm missing milestones. I'm missing the major milestones. if you don't go back to work, you feel like you should be contributing financially to the household, right? In my case specifically, I'm home but I'm working remotely, and sometimes I can't necessarily focus on her all the time, so I have her doing her thing, right? At the same time, I feel like I'm still missing some things. I'm still missing some new words that, you know, she made up, or, you know, because I'm just not present. I need to split my attention between work and her, and you just feel guilty about literally grinding, working, and just getting enough dough so that she can be comfortable. It makes no sense. Mom guilt makes no sense, but it makes all the sense in the world. And I really wanted to share some tangible examples of how I feel guilty as a mom, so that you can relate. Maybe you have different instances of mom guilt, but I really wanted to just illustrate that honestly, motherhood is it's just really mental. It's like, it's so mental and emotional and physical. Man, I miss sleep. But it's just a mental messed up state sometimes, you know, where you feel guilty. And I wanted to share it so that you guys realize that you're not alone, and I want to know that I'm not alone too, right? And it's not to share so that, you know, I can be justified, or I can get like pity, or I can get just some reassuring statements. It's just to share that in the grand scheme of things, mom guilt is very much real. Maybe irrational, but very much real. And firstly, to mom guilt, my first advice is give yourself a break. You are doing the best that you can with what you can, and that's all that matters. Once Zoya is fed and happy, then motherhood is a success. That's it. Once your baby is fed and happy, it no matter. It is great. You understand? And another thing that is like a different, a lot of persons talk about mom guilt in the context of ditch the guilt, or, you know, how to work around mom guilt, or just getting rid of the guilt and saying it's a societal imposition, which there is validity. You need to ditch the guilt sometimes, but I feel like I need to add a different perspective to the table, and this perspective is that mom guilt is a blessing somewhat, because I feel like a mom who doesn't feel mom guilt, probably lack of emotions. Yeah, fight me for that, but I just feel like, all right, so in the grand scheme of Christianity, listen to the reasoning, right? You have your consciousness, and I feel like, phew, mom guilt is your conscience, right? I feel like when you sin as a Christian, you have that conviction in you. And if you don't have that conviction in you, then something wrong. You need to check yourself, because you are so far gone, right? I feel like it's the same thing with mom guilt. It convicts you. It's not something to live by like the laws, because you're saved by grace. But at the same time, it convicts you to actually do the right thing if you're doing the wrong thing. And I feel like it convicts you, and it reassures you that you're still connected to, in Christianity, God, and in earthly sense, your baby, right? I feel like it shows that you care about this motherhood thing. You care about your baby's health and happiness. And I feel like persons don't really realize that mom guilt shows that. It shows how much heart you have in regards to your baby, how much you want the best for her. I feel like, yeah, you're probably, like in my case, I don't want to eat the foods that I think Zoe should eat, because just think about it. It's not just the guilt, it's what is behind the guilt. I need to to enable her to get all her nutrients, right? To enable her to have a balanced meal. I feel like I feel guilty because she's not doing a lot of crafts, but look behind the guilt. The care, the fact that I want her to develop sensory play and all those things. I wanted her to develop her skills and just like her cognitive and motor skills more, right? So for every single instance of mom guilt that I mentioned, I can look behind the guilt and see the care. And I just really want to just emphasize how beautiful that is, the revelation that mom guilt is a blessing, in that you actually realize how much you're invested in this child, how much you're invested in motherhood. And I feel it's just beautiful in and of itself. But at the same time, too much mom guilt is counterproductive. It makes you feel like you're not doing a good job as a mom. And I feel like with mom guilt, yes, come. Yeah, come like this. Yeah. I feel like with mom guilt, it's everything in moderation, really. So you just need to know how to use it to your benefit and when to ditch it. So that's just my 2 cents on mom guilt. So let me know in the comment below what you think about my perspective, and if you have an alternative perspective to bring to the table. I'm no philosopher, I'm just a mom, and this is my view. But I'm just really basking in just how much I love and appreciate and want the best for Zaya, gleaned by this mom guilt thing. You know, it's so interesting. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, my girl and I. Why are you crawling on the floor? Say bye, Zoya. No. So thank you so much. Remember, please subscribe, and I'll see you next time on a different talk with whatever drops in my heart. Yeah? Thank you and bye. Oh, and if you want me to talk about something, let me know in the comments below. Yeah?